Hello, this is Richard Trent, and this is day 6 of my 23 days fasting. And I'm reporting from the Philippines, and it's now 5 o'clock, November 10, which is a Friday time here. So, first of all, I would like to warn anybody who want to do this water fast to get as much information that you can get online, where you can search it at Google or YouTube. But at best, check with your doctor if you are healthy enough to do it. Like I know I consulted my doctor and I showed him my lab work, and I'm pretty much in good shape, except my cholesterol was a little bit high. Now, when I showed you my result this last, I think, 2 or 3 days, my cholesterol went down so that it enabled me to remove the medication for cholesterol, but I kept the hypertension, except my blood thinner, which is aspirin. And in spite of that removal of cholesterol, my cholesterol level on my BP reading is still good. Okay, but if you're gonna do this, you're doing it on your own. I'm not responsible for this. As a matter of fact, my own doctor warned me not to do this because I'm already 71 years old. So just to be safe and careful when you're doing this, I devised a system how it can be done safely. And I copied this when I was in Canada, where I stayed with my wife for 40 years, where she was diabetic. And every time she is confined in the hospital for her diabetes, they always monitor her sugar and BP like clockwork. And they almost do it every 2 hours, especially if her creatinine level is a little bit high. Because as soon as it gets high, she will have to go for dialysis. But she was given to kidney transplant already. The first time I think was in 2001, and the second one was 2003. The first one was rejected because there was I think the donor the donor guy that gave the kidney, and it could be like not so good. So, but now, after studying all I've learned from dialysis, I also pulled our the way we diet. Like we almost like eat for maybe 5, 6 times a day. And I wish I had known this fasting, and she would not have that kidney transplant done to her. So anyway, the second transplant was done in 2003, and it lasted her, that one was good, and despite our eating, it lasted us until 2016 when my wife died. So just be careful. Don't do this right away. Study this like what I'm showing you now, but don't get it don't take my word for it. You are supposed to be responsible for your health, so you have to, discipline yourself. Like what I found is, if you eat the right food, you'll be okay. But if you overeat and eat a lot of garbage, and you drink and you smoke, then you're headed to problems. And especially if you're a senior like me, and if you don't get careful, is really very bad. Okay, so to give you a review of what has happened today, like in the morning when I did my live show at Facebook, live streaming, my sugar was 76, and then my blood pressure was 128 over 64. Now, last night before I went to bed, uh, oh no, not last night. It was in the morning. I got 113 over 60. And this is what I was saying, that even me taking off the cholesterol, my reading is still good. Like this morning, it's 128 over 64. And the cholesterol reading is only between 60 to 90, whereas the top one is supposed to be 90 to 120. So after that, I went for a jog to see how I feel. And I noticed the thing that I see white in front of me when I'm walking, because to the jogging area I have to walk for like 2 kilometers. And there was a time yesterday when I walked that I can see like my eyesight is blurry, and then after walking between 3 to 5 minutes, it's cleared up. But today I didn't see that anymore. I'm really glad I didn't see that anymore. So I was thinking that my whole body is going into ketosis and all the garbage is being drained. So you will see that. But I know I'm on the safe side, because before I did my jogging, I read I measured my sugar and BP. Okay, so after I did oh no, when I went to the jogging area, I again tried to feel myself, and I noticed I'm in a really good mood, and my body feels light and I have no pain. And this just affirmed from what I heard, that on the third day you'll start where your body gonna get all the nutrition from your fat, and you will feel all right. So maybe that's the situation right now. So when I tried to jog, I was able to do 3 laps. Okay, and I could have done 4 laps, but because I'm already on the fourth day and I still have 17 days to go, I kind of conserve my strength. Okay, so we'll never know what will happen tomorrow and later. So I'm trying to conserve my strength. So when I go, even if I just go to the jogging area without running and I'll just walk, for me that's good already, because this way I will know how is my heart going. Okay, so when I measured my sugar at 10 o'clock, I got my sugar went up from 76 and went up to 83. Okay, and my BP went up from 128 over 64. As a matter of fact, it went down a little bit. The hypertension remains at 128, and then the cholesterol went down to 57. So that was good. Now at lunchtime it was 82 for my sugar, so I actually start coming down. And then my blood pressure was about 134 over 61. So the hypertension went up from 128 to 134, and my cholesterol is now creeping up from 57 to 61. I know for my age, I'm allowed to have, for my hypertension, to have a reading of 130 to 135. But for younger people between 25 to 40, I've seen in the internet that your ideal blood pressure should be between 120 over 80 or 110 over 70. Those are the great readings. But like what I told you, if this fasting will give me like what I've seen before, wherein I will go down lower than 100 on the hypertension, and my sugar start creeping up, my cholesterol start creeping up in the 50s, then I will remove completely my medication, and I'm just waiting for that. But hopefully it will happen. Okay. One thing I noticed today though, uh, at 11 o'clock, I went to my apartment duplex that I'm renting to Airbnb, and while I was doing some work there, I felt my chest is a little bit tight, so I kind of got worried. But knowing that I tested my sugar before going to the apartment, and my reading was all fine. So I was thinking it's just psychological. So you know what I did? I went and pee and checked my urine, and I found out my urine was yellow. So I know when that happens, I need to drink water, and I did just that. I drink 2 glasses of water, and then I lie down on the living room couch and try to rest, and the pain went away. So sometimes when you're dehydrated, that will do that to yourself. So another thing I did when and after I stayed there in the apartment, I think I stayed there till 12, and when I went home, I drank another 1 glass of water, but this time I added little bit of salt, like seawater salt. There's a lot of that here in the Philippines because the coast, the sea coast, is only 5 minutes away from me, and lots of fishermen are selling that in the public market. So I think 3 days ago I bought a bag of that sea salt, which I added on my water before I drank it, because the water in our body is not really plain water, it's combined with salt. Okay, so all of this that I'm telling you, I just studied it and I learned in the internet. Like, I'm not a medical practitioner or professional. My real job in Canada before I retired is heavy duty mechanic technician, and I specialize on computers, which I also do in my business in ATS, automotive troubleshooting. I help people fix their cars. Okay, but that's not what I'm trying to advertise here. I'm just trying to clarify it that I'm not a medical practitioner or professional. So you just listen and see what how this thing goes, but it's up to you. I leave you the decision, and you take your own risk. Okay, so now I gonna do, it's 5:15, 5:30 here maybe. So I will check my sugar and see what we got. So here's my tester. Here's the strip. So we watch this. 76. Okay, 76. So from 82 at lunchtime, it went down to 76. Okay, so this is just like the right reading that I need before going to bed later on. So I will do my BP test, and this is the one I always get a problem every time I do it in with an audience live like you, because I feel a little bit nervous. But hopefully I'm out of that now, and maybe we can get a better reading. You hear the sound? I got 133.67. Okay, so I thought I'm within my range. My hypertension, I know for my age I should get 133. And if I take my full medication, I can easily get that to, with intermittent fasting, I can get that to 110/70. Now, yesterday I got 133. Let me check that again. 133/67. Okay, yesterday on the fifth day of my fasting, I got 135/76. Today I got, at the same time around 5:30, I got 133/67, which I think is great. So tonight my plan is I'll still take those hypertension medication without the blood thinner, and then I will not take that. Let me see. It's actually creeping up. So maybe I'll take the cholesterol just to be on the safe side, okay? Because it's creeping up. The cholesterol is supposed to be 60 to 90, and if it's already 61 at lunchtime and it's 67 right now, so I know it's creeping up. So maybe I'll just take it, see what happens tomorrow. But my goal really is, if the BP becomes good, like I get lower than 100 over 60s or something like that, then I will remove my BP medication. Now, I came across this article, why at YouTube, why we have to do water fast. It after you remove, like during the water fast, what you are really doing is remove the dead cells in your body, and because your body will try to eat the fat from yourself, it will regenerate the new cell. It will create new cell. That's why it will help retired people like me to they say reverse aging, because the new cell is just keeping you more alive and younger. So I'm really excited with that. I'm really motivated by that, and I hope that's what happened. Also, I just checked my weight before I did this YouTube video right now. I started this 5 days ago with my weight at 135. Like my height is, for my height of 5'6". I think my weight should be around 120, 125. If I'm wrong, just leave it on the comments. So I started at 135, and I know yesterday I checked it. It was about 131, 130. But today, just half an hour ago, I checked my weight. I was 128. So that's what happened when you're fasting. You also lose weight. Okay, but this is the fast way of doing of losing your extra weight, but it just take precaution because it's really dangerous. Like I was warned by my doctor not to do this because of my age. But I've been experimenting on myself for the last 3 months, so I know the problem he was talking about. So that's why I went ahead. But anytime I feel I'm in trouble because I'm testing it already, then I know I can easily break the fast if I wanted to. Okay, so that's the summary of what I have done today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow at the same time around 5:30. And if you are interested to see my update in the morning, which I do at Facebook live stream, you're more than welcome to do so. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.